Today is the day we celebrate Trapsnat's debut with their record label. They worked tirelessly for years for this day, practicing every day and performing every weekend at the local bars to share their music. I remember the first time I saw Trapness playing at the Graduate in my city. I went with a high school friend on a December night. I remember just how cold it was outside, but would never have guessed the warmth I would feel inside. I will never forget the feeling of the opening bass chord, and I never want to. My friend Chip rushed into our classroom our last day of school before winter break, with a spark in her eyes and smile that could have challenged the sun. I asked what the excitement was about, and she rambled on about some band she liked that was coming into town tonight. I was trying to multitask, putting my pink and black notebooks away along with my pencil and pens while listening to her. She then grabbed my hand and asked that I came with her tonight to go see them. I politely declined, but then she then grabbed my hand harder, leaned closer to me, and demanded I came. I had plans to work on our winter break homework tonight so that way I didn't have to worry about it during the holidays, but I knew with that look in her eyes she wouldn't take no for an answer. I reluctantly agreed, and she bursted with so much energy that I almost felt dizzy. The remaining 2 classes were filled with plans on getting ready and clothes. After a while, her excitement rubbed off on me, and I returned her energy, which made her even more excited. After the final bell rang, signaling our freedom for the next couple weeks for winter break, Chip and I rushed to meet each other at the class door to start heading to my house down the street. Since I was adopted by a single mother who worked at a hospital, I was left on my own majority of the time. With an empty house, it was easy to come and go as I pleased. When Chip and I finally reached my house, we gathered our clothes, makeup, and hair straighteners to get ready. After a few outfit changes and hairstyles, I chose my black fishnet stockings with a rose pattern, a black ruffled skirt that went down to my knees, topped with a worn-out black turtleneck, and a gray and black cropped sweater that ended at my navel and sleeves ended a few inches below my elbow. I didn't like showing a lot of skin, but I also had a love for crop tops, so I had to learn to layer my outfits. I ended up deciding on black studded earrings and a chain on my hip to accessorize along with my black leather boots. Chip ended up with a beautiful blood red dress and black roses trimming the edges and also wearing her platforms. I remember Trapness was performing at 10 p.m. and we wanted to get the best spot since it was first come, first serve, so we headed out at 8 p.m. and ran to my mom's car. December nights always left a bit of a frost on the car's windshield, so we waited while the car heated up and defrosted, then we headed to one of the best nights of our lives. We arrived an hour later at a bar called The Graduate. The line to get in was already found around the parking, so we got there at the best time. I found a parking and rushed to get in line. We clutched our jackets due to the icy cool wind and waited 30 minutes to get in the front of the line, where the bouncer asked for IDs. We grabbed our IDs that we got from one of our friends and showed the bouncer. Luckily for us, we both had a gift with makeup, so we looked at least 20. The bouncer couldn't have even cared to give us a second look because he then just shoved the IDs back into our hands and hurried us inside to move the line along. When we entered the bar, I remember the stench of cigarettes hitting me in the face. The music followed and inserted a second heartbeat into my chest. The crowd was already massive and oozing with energy. By then, we only had 30 minutes to get to the front. Chip and I braced ourselves and started shuffling through the crowd. Remembering it always makes me want to gag. 5 minutes were left until Trapness took the stage. I remember the feeling of nervousness filling my chest for a reason. I still can't say to this day why. That's when I felt it. I felt the air changing, the mood shifting, all in anticipation. That's when Trapness, the lead singer that we all love today, Nana, came on stage. Since the moment I laid eyes on her, I was already hypnotized. Her short black hair was shining in the stage light. Her red lipstick and black eyeshadow perfectly enchanted her face as she looked into the crowd. Following her were 5 men, all dressed in black ribbed suits with fishnets underneath. When they all took their place and the bass player played his first note, Nana snatched the microphone with her black painted nails and tattooed covered arms and started singing in the most unique voice I have ever heard. To be honest, I couldn't even concentrate all that much on the meaning of the lyrics because the trance of her singing put me in. It almost felt like she was transporting all her raw emotions into my heart. I was in such awe at the electric guitar player and the drummer for how well they matched Nana. She was not following their timing. Instead, they rushed to keep up, or slow down to her precise temp of her notes while the bass kept her voice perfectly in tune. The band's energy shocked the entire crowd into standing still as death. It certainly did Chip and I. As soon as the solo came for the bass, the crowd went wild, jumping, screaming, and singing for Nana. However, I couldn't bring myself to dance or scream like the others. I felt as if I blinked or breathed, I would miss something beautiful, so I stood still, watching as the girl not much older than me conquered the crowd. Ever since that night, I knew they would be big someday, no doubt in my mind. And now, 10 years later, I have the honor of being part of the group to congratulate them on debuting. I couldn't be happier.